What is up, BloxAlert Nation? I'm your host, Killer Zajek. Let's get right into the news. Our first story coming from the FAITners poem dispute. As many of you, if not all of you know, Poem is an administrator. Today, we have an interview with the man himself about the disagreement with FAITners and him being banned. While not everything was clarified, some things did come to light. So here's the interview. So my first question is, what happened between you and FAITners that involved the Sicariuses? Poem said, well, it wasn't my ultimate decision what happened with him. It was a group of administrators as well. I said, yeah, I asked because when he left a screenshot of him buying like 20 Sicariuses for 1 cash. Poem said, we all voted and agreed on what happens to both Alex and FAITners. I said, what happens with Alex? We know what happens with FAITners. All his stuff was banned. Poem said, I cannot say, but he hasn't been looked over. He said, and for FAITners, I cannot say either. He also said, but they were both given their appropriate punishments. He then goes on to say that, I go on to say, with FAITners being banned, a lot of valuable limiteds, including Sicariuses, were lost permanently from the market. Does Bean intend to remedy this and put the economy back where it was? Poem said, actually, we're coming up with a legal system with trading in the near future that a lot of players will like. It's very different from Roblox. As for the value lost, we know what we'll be doing, but again, I cannot say. I said, well, that wraps this up. Do you have anything to say to the players, or perhaps FAITners, as he does watch this show? Poem said, I love you, FAITners, heart. That's great. That's great. At least Poem wants to know what he thinks. Also on this subject, FAITners contacted me today and said this: all my accounts were deleted and I'm not welcome on Bloxcity anymore, LOL. Also, in the news, today, the beta.bloxcity site came back up. Whenever this happens, the site receives a major update, and it started today. The games page updated, saying, among other things, that games are almost done and the animations are the only things not completed. Good news, considering lack of games was causing many players to quit. Breaking news! As of this video being made, I received this news submission by an anonymous user containing interesting information about Court, a somewhat famous user. It was logs of him using sexist terms to a former administrator, Chloe. Normally here on BloxAlert, we don't like to have more than one drama segment, but this just came to my attention. He said some pretty nasty things, and I bleeped out the language and stuff, so this is a screenshot. These are screenshots of it right now. And I asked Court for his defense, and this is what he had to say. I said, why the heck did you say that? And I said, I'm sure all of our viewers are wondering that. He said, she baited me, voice chat and text chat. I said, how so? He said, she took out her part of the conversation, winky face. Truly interesting stuff, and tomorrow I will attempt to get a hold of Chloe for her side of the story, so stay tuned for that. Also, in the news, the first part of the groups page update came out today. Ranks have been fixed and organized. In my opinion, they look a bit like Roblox, but I'm sure in the near future it will look different. A final news story before we sign off. Bloxcity admins and website today were DDoSed. While the website would only go down occasionally, the admins were facing difficulty staying in the Teamspeak 3 server. That's all the news for tonight. As always, this has been Killer Zajek. See you guys tomorrow.